Hi there, it's Brian Mountford here, rocking my crazy quarantine hairstyle. I wanted to talk a little bit about the setup that C4 is using in our live streams. We've been experimenting with using the Jamulus software to try and get everybody to be able to sing together and then stream the results over the web. The setup to make this possible is a little complicated, so I thought I would share the details of what we're doing. Here's a diagram showing how my whole system is set up. Now remember that this is the Cadillac plan I'm using. You don't really need it to be this complicated just to use Jamulus. You could have Jamulus, Zoom if you want some video, and then go straight into OBS. But we wanted to do more interesting things like reverb and video effects, so I've created my dream setup here so that I can do everything I want to do. I'm connected using two different computers at the same time. On my laptop, I'm connected with my singer hat on. And on the desktop, it's connected as the engineering station. The reason for this is that the two roles require slightly different settings. Connected on the laptop, as a singer, I want the Jamulus mix to be whatever allows me to best hear my part and sing along. And I want to be connected to the Zoom call with my video so that the audience can see me. The engineering computer doesn't have any picture on the Zoom call. It's just receiving the Zoom call and streaming it. And the mix in Jamulus is whatever the final mix needs to be to sound best to the audience. By having two different computers, we can have two different sets of settings and make everything work optimally. In theory, we could do everything all on one computer, but we've found so far that trying to run two Jamulus clients on the same machine seems to be a recipe for disaster. So to keep our sanity, we've tried to separate it onto two computers. Before you despair because you don't actually have two computers yourself, I should point out that it's looking increasingly like it will be difficult for me to both sing and engineer at the same time, and that my attention will probably be required to do proper mixing and engineering, and I won't really be able to sing in the same live stream. So at that point, I'll be down to one computer as well, and I'll just spend my time engineering and not singing. So first, let's talk about the laptop setup. It's pretty straightforward. I have Jamulus running. I'm connected with my microphone running through my audio interface, and I have my headphones on so I can hear what's going on, and I'm connected to the server, and I'm connected to the Zoom call with either the sound not enabled in the first place or muted. So my setup is pretty much the same as every other singer's setup, and there's not that much more to be said about that. The desktop is a lot more complicated. First, let's look at the video. You see that I'm connected to the Zoom call, just like a normal Zoom connection would be, except that I don't have any video running because there's no one to see. Instead, I'm connected as a non-video participant, so I see everyone else in the ensemble, but I myself am not present in my engineering persona. I'm using the program CamTwist to capture the Zoom video and send it to Isadora. In Isadora, I'm adding some video effects to make things look a little more interesting to the audience, or attempt to do so anyway, and then forwarding the resulting video onto OBS to be streamed. That's the video side. On the audio side, what's happening is that I have a Digital Audio Workstation running, and the audio workstation is responsible for playing any click tracks, pulse tracks, electronics, or whatever, and piping the result to Jamulus. Then what comes back from Jamulus is the final mix that I have adjusted using the Jamulus mixer console. That goes back into the audio workstation so that I can add reverb, and then again the output goes to OBS to be streamed. Finally, OBS takes the audio, video, sandwiches them together, and sends it off to YouTube. Now note that I don't actually have any microphone in this setup. The engineering workstation doesn't have any live audio input going into it. All it's doing is playing pre-recorded stuff, getting the results back from Jamulus. So it's a self-contained system that does all the processing. Also note that I didn't talk about this mysterious box in the middle of the audio stream labeled BlackHole. That's a piece of routing software that allows me to connect various audio applications together. I can send from the workstation to Jamulus, from Jamulus back to the workstation, and then from the workstation to OBS. How that works is a little complicated, and I'll probably have to cover it in another tutorial specifically about that. So there you have it. In future videos, I'll try and share my screen so you can see how exactly I'm setting all these things up to work together and let us do the live stream. If you want to see more, subscribe to our YouTube channel.